inspection of Nora's face with a forlorn expression. She knew exactly what they were thinking when they wore that look. What a shame. She'd be so pretty without those scars. But this man hadn't responded with the too bad, so sad expression. He was clearly more interested in the scone she held than in continuing to study her burn scars. Nora felt herself relaxing the stiff posture she held when newcomers inspected her.
"Excuse me."
The man pointed at her decimated pastry.
"Where did you get that?"
Nora, who'd been feeding the scone to a small flock of mourning doves, replied, "From the gingerbread house. They're called comfort scones. The baker, Hester, makes custom scones based on what she thinks her patrons will be comforted by. You should pay her a visit."
"I love scones, but I haven't had one forever. I used to have a chocolate chip scone every Thursday afternoon at this little coffee shop near my office. But that was before everything changed. I couldn't look the barista in the eye after."
The man fell into an abrupt silence. He sat very still and watched the doves devour Nora's crumbs. When every last piece was gone, he asked,
"Why are you feeding yours to the birds?"
"A customer dropped it on the floor while I was in the bakery, buying a cinnamon twist," Nora said. "I prefer cinnamon twists over scones because they're easier to eat while I'm reading. That's my main priority when it comes to food. Other people are obsessed with calories, nutritional value, antioxidants. I look at food and wonder, can I eat that without having to put my book down?" This elicited a small smile from the man. He pointed at the yellow building with a cobalt blue trim and doors on the far side of the park. The former train depot, which had been converted into a bookshop, possessed an air of charming dilapidation.
"So I take it you hang out there pretty often?"
He said. "I do." Dusting crumbs from her hands, Nora added, "Miracle Books is my store." Hearing this, the man pivoted to face her. The sudden movement startled the doves, and they took off in a burst of alarmed coos and whooshing wings.
"An African-American woman working at the thermal pools told me about the resident bibliotherapist. Was she talking about you?"
Nora saw the need in the man's eyes. She'd seen it hundreds of times, but only from those who dared to look directly at her.
"This woman said that the bibliotherapist was able to help people solve their problems by recommending certain titles."
The man gestured at Miracle Books.
"It makes sense that you'd own a bookstore."
"I have no official training," Nora said, uttering her standard disclaimer. "Before I came to Miracle Springs, I was a librarian. I haven't taken a single course in psychology. I've never done any formal counseling." The man frowned in confusion.
"This woman said that people seek you out when the rest of the services in town failed to make them feel better. But I don't get it. How can you succeed where all of the professionals and the healing waters can't?"
Nora shrugged. "There's no guarantee my method will work either. I read all the time, and I listen to people. I really listen." She held the man's dubious gaze. Stories don't change much across continents and centuries. Hearts are broken, pride is wounded. Souls wander too far from home and become lost. The wrong roads are taken, the incorrect choices made. Stories echo with loneliness, grief, longing, redemption, forgiveness, hope, and love. Now it was her turn to point at the bookstore. "That building is stuffed with books that, once opened, reveal our communal story. And, if you're lucky, the words in those books will force you to grapple with the hardest truths of your life. After reducing you to a puddle of tears, they'll raise you up to your feet again. The words will pull you up, higher and higher, until you feel the sun on your face again. Until you're suddenly humming on the way to the mailbox. Or you're buying bouquets of Gerbera daisies because you crave bright colors. And you'll laugh again, as freely as champagne bubbling in a tall glass flute. When's the last time you laughed like that?" The man's mouth twisted. He was trying to hold his emotion in check, to keep his pain from overtaking him. His hands gripped his knees so hard that his knuckles had gone white. He looked away from Nora, and she thought he might get up and leave.